Good morning, children. I hope you have understood the innate immunity. Today we'll start with acquired immunity. This is a little difficult, so try to understand it properly. And I hope you have understood the different types of leukocytes and revise them properly, because till we do not know their role, we will not be able to understand it. Now, children, what is acquired immunity? The immunity which we develop during our lifetime. See, it refers to the immunity a person acquires after birth, either by contracting the disease or by vaccination. What is the meaning of this? If we contract a disease, like I gave you an example of chicken pox. So if we contract a disease like chicken pox, immunity will be developed because the antibodies which are produced, they remember it. These T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes play a major role in this, and they have memory cells which always remember these foreign pathogens. So acquired immunity refers to which is acquired after birth and either by contracting a disease or by vaccination. What is vaccination? This is also the process by which we introduce weak or dead germs, and against that antibodies are produced. So immunity will be produced when these pathogens enter our body and antibodies are produced against these pathogens. So second point is pathogen specific, because for different pathogens there are different antibodies. Different pathogens means different antigens, and for different antigens there are different antibodies. Like there are different locks, for different locks there are different keys. So like for this also, different pathogens will have different antibodies which will remove them or kill them. It is present only in vertebrates. And ability to distinguish between self cells and foreign molecule cells. See, these antibodies do not harm our own cells. They harm only the cells or pathogens or foreign substances which enter our body, then they eliminate them. So they have the ability to distinguish between cells and foreign molecules. Again, it is acquired after birth. It is specific for different antigens. Different antibodies are there. It is present only in vertebrates, and they are able to differentiate between the cells of our body and the foreign pathogens or any foreign particles which enter our body. Now, what are the specific characters? Specificity, ability to distinguish between different foreign molecules. In memory, these B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes have a very strong memory, not like us. They always remember the pathogens which have entered the body, and they know they will harm us, so they are always ready to protect us from those pathogens. So they have a very strong memory system. So when immune system encounters a pathogen for the first time, it develops an immune response by which the pathogen is eliminated. This is called primary response. It also retains some memory cells which evoke a heightened immune response in further encounters. Suppose one person had a chicken pox, or if you think of some other disease, measles. Once you have, the antigens will enter, antibodies will be produced, and these memory cells will remember them. And when next time they enter, a strong immune response is further encountered, and these pathogens are eliminated in the beginning, so they cannot harm us. Now the second is the main important white blood cells which help in acquired immunity are lymphocytes. So acquired immunity is dependent on the specialized white blood cells called lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are the cells responsible for the body's ability to distinguish and react to an almost infinite number of different foreign substances, including those of which microbes are composed. So they are able to distinguish between different pathogens, different foreign substances. Different antibodies are produced for different antigens. Antigens are the substances which are going to produce these antibodies. They stimulate the production of antibodies. So mostly they are foreign substances or pathogens. The majority are concentrated in the various tissues scattered throughout the body, particularly the bone marrow. Where are these lymphocytes present? Bone marrow. Where is bone marrow present? Mostly in the hollow spaces inside the bone. Then thymus. It is just near the chest region. Spleen is also below it. Lymph nodes are swelling like beads in the lymphatic system. Tonsils are near the throat and lining of the intestines. So these lymphocytes are present in these organs, and these organs are known as lymphoid organs. Lymphocytes begin their life in bone marrow. Means all white blood cells, including lymphocytes, are produced in the bone marrow. Some stay in the marrow and develop into B lymphocytes. Those which are present in the bone marrow are known as B lymphocytes or B cells, and some of them move from bone marrow to the thymus, and they are known as T lymphocytes or T cells. See, T for thymus and T for T lymphocytes. So there are two different types of lymphocytes: B lymphocytes which remain in the bone marrow, and T lymphocytes which move from bone marrow to thymus, and they are known as T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, they produce antibodies and help alert the T lymphocytes. See what is the important part. B lymphocytes, they mostly, any antigen enters, they produce antibodies against them and also help T lymphocytes. And T lymphocytes, they destroy compromised cells in the body and help alert other leukocytes. T lymphocytes' main function is to help B lymphocytes to produce antibodies, and also they have cytotoxic killer cells which destroys the dead cells, pathogens. Natural killer cells are there which mostly destroy the infected cells which remain there, all are destroyed. So T lymphocytes' main function is to help B lymphocytes in producing antibodies, and second function is the cytotoxic killer cells, they help in phagocytosis. Organs or tissues containing such concentration of lymphocytes are described as lymphoid organs. So where lymphocytes are present are known as lymphoid organs. Now lymphoid organs are also of two types. What are lymphoid organs? Organs where lymphocytes originate, proliferate and get mature. From where they are produced, where they become mature or increase in number, that are known as lymphoid organs. And these are also divided into two parts. According the primary lymphoid organs, organs where B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes originate and mature. So where they are produced, these are the primary lymphoid organs, and where they migrate afterwards from this bone marrow and thymus, they are known as secondary lymphoid organs. So bone marrow, main lymphoid organ where all blood cells including lymphocytes are formed. Maturation of B lymphocytes occur here. And thymus, it is located beneath the chest bone near the heart. It is the site of T lymphocyte maturation. This gland keeps reducing in size with age. So bone marrow and thymus are the primary lymphoid organs, and secondary lymphoid organs are organs where lymphocytes interact with antigen and proliferate to form a clone, effector and memory cells. Means areas where a lot of antibodies are produced and memory cells are produced. These are the secondary lymphoid organs, that is spleen. mostly contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. Lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. And what are phagocytes? Those which kill those pathogens. Phagos means eating. Acts the filter of blood by trapping blood-borne microbes. So spleen mostly traps all the microbes. And a reservoir of erythrocytes. It is the blood bank of RBC. So our spleen is a major organ. Many times this question comes, which is the blood bank of RBC? So spleen is the blood bank of RBC. Second are lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are present in the lymphatic system, and they are like swellings or beads where these lymphocytes are found. And whenever any antigen comes, they increase in number and do not let the antigens move from that area to other areas. So these are small solid structures found at different points along lymphatic system, acts as filters and trap microbes that enter limbs. So they mostly try to capture those antigens and do not let them migrate from there. Antigen trapped in them activate lymphocytes present in lymph nodes and produce an immune response. So what will be produced? Antibodies will be produced, and these antibodies will try to eliminate them. Third secondary lymphoid organs are mucosal associated lymphoid tissue. Lymphoid tissue located within mucosal lining of major tracts where mucus is present, like respiratory tract, digestive tract, urogenital tracts, accounts for 50% of the lymphoid tissue in a human body. So secondary lymphoid organs are spleen, lymph nodes and MALT, mucosal associated lymphoid tissue. Now let's see what are B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes are very important because they produce antibodies, trap the antigens and try to kill them. When an antigen binds to the B cell surface, it stimulates the B cells to divide and mature into a group of identical cells called a clone. See children, when any antigen will enter, what will happen? When it will enter and binds to B lymphocytes, a number of B lymphocytes are produced. These are known as plasma cells. And these plasma cells produce a large number of antibodies. Their lifetime is small, but they try to kill all those pathogens. The mature B cells are called plasma cells. So plasma cells are produced by B lymphocytes when an antigen enters a body and a number of B lymphocytes are produced. What are they known as? Plasma cells. So plasma cells are the cells of B lymphocytes which produce millions of antibodies into the bloodstream and lymphatic system. Antibodies are special proteins that lock onto specific antigens. So antibodies are made up of proteins. Antibodies are part of a large family of chemicals called immunoglobulins, which play a major role in the immune response. Now if you see the structure, there are two light chains and two heavy chains. The bigger ones are known as heavy chains and the smaller ones are known as light chains. The upper part of the light chain, it's different, and they are different according to the different antigens. So they like lock and key. Different antibodies will have different shapes according to the antigen. So they trap different types of antigens. So their structure is also known as H2L2. Immunoglobulins are of various types: IgA, IgD, IgE, IgM and IgG. Each B cell makes one specific antibody. For instance, one might make an antibody against the bacteria that cause pneumonia, and other might recognize the common cold virus. So there are different antibodies for different antigens. The structure of antibody is given here. It consists of 4 peptide chains held together in the form of Y. The two small chains are called light chains, two large chains called heavy chains, and antibody is represented as H2L2 molecule. The tips of the upper arm binds to the antigens in a lock and key manner. Sometimes this question comes, sometimes the diagram also comes, so try to revise it properly. Now these are the different types of immunoglobulins and what is their function. This is not in your course, only something extra I am telling you. This is your IgA, found in mucus, saliva, tears and breast milk. So breast milk, you have to remember, colostrum contains IgA. The antibodies present in the colostrum protects against pathogens. Then IgD, part of the B cell receptor, activates basophils and mast cells. Mast cells are mostly related to allergic reactions. Now IgE protects against parasitic worms responsible for allergic reactions. And IgG, secreted by plasma cells in the blood, able to cross the placenta into the fetus. So these two you have to remember. IgA present in colostrum, IgG, this immunoglobulin can cross from placenta to the fetus. This is called passive immunity also. IgA and IgG, both of them, these antibodies can come from the mother to the fetus. And IgM may be attached to the surface of a B cell or secreted into the blood, responsible for early stages of immunity. Now let's study about the T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes we have studied. B lymphocytes had two parts. When any antigen binds, it changes into plasma cells to produce a large number of antibodies, and they have memory cells which remember those antigens. Now T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes, where are they produced? In the thymus. They are produced in the bone marrow, but they mature in the thymus, so that's why they are known as T lymphocytes. The cells originate in the bone marrow and mature in the thymus. In the thymus, T cells multiply and differentiate into helper regulatory cytotoxic cells and memory T cells. Now, if you see, T lymphocytes are important because T lymphocytes are of four types. One are helper T cells. What is the function of helper T cells? Helper T cells mostly help in producing B cells in formation of antibodies. These are most numerous children. Once stimulated by the appropriate antigen, helper T cells secrete chemical messenger called cytokinins. These cytokinins stimulate the differentiation of B cells into plasma cells and proliferating plasma cells, or we call it antibody producing cells. So main function of helper T cells, when they have receptors for binding with the antigen. As the antigen comes, they bind with that and activate B cells to produce antibodies. They do not produce antibodies but help B cells to produce antibodies. So helper T cells function is to help B cells to produce antibodies, and they also activate cytotoxic killer cells. What is the function of cytotoxic killer cells? These cells are capable of killing microorganisms and even some of body's own cells directly, hence they are called killer cells. So they destroy body cells infected by viruses and attack and kill bacteria and other pathogens. So cytotoxic killer cells, what do? They kill the pathogens also, and they also destroy the cells of the body which were infected by these pathogens. So helper T cells function, but what are they doing? Helping B cells to produce antibodies and activate cytotoxic killer cells. Cytotoxic killer cells, what do? Cytotoxic T cells they are activated by various cytokines. Cytotoxic T cells binds and kill infected cells and cancer cells by releasing cytotoxic granules. So what do? They destroy those cells which were harmed by these pathogens and also kill those pathogens. See, cell toxic poisonous. So they help in eliminating the infected cells also and these pathogens also. Now regulatory cells. What are regulatory cells? We also call them suppressor cells. These cells are capable of suppressing the function of cytotoxic and helper T cells. They inhibit the immune system. When the immune response is completed, so they bring it to normal. So they are known as regulatory cells or suppressor cells, act to control immune response. So they inactivate these helper T cells and cytotoxic cells and memory cells. What is the function of memory? Again, following an infection, antigen specific long lived memory T cells are formed. They may live for lifelong. So these white blood cells always remember those antigens which had tried to harm us. So they remember, and next time when these antigens enter, they try to produce antibodies and eliminate them. Memory T cells are important because they can quickly expand to large number of effector T cells upon re-exposure to the antigen and have a low threshold for activation. So what is the main function of memory cells? When the antigen again enters, they try to activate the immune response and try to remove them. So at that time, they help in regulating our immune system. So these are the different types of T lymphocytes. Now, acquired immunity, actually it is of two types. One is humoral immunity, one is cellular immunity, or we also call it cell-mediated immunity. What is humoral immunity, children? Humor means blood or fluid. Humoral immunity is response to antibody mediated response is associated with the B cells. See, antibodies are produced by the B cells. So humoral immunity, these antibodies are present in the blood. So humoral immunity is related to your B lymphocytes, where the role of these cells is to identify the antigens or any foreign particle that are present in the circulation in blood or lymph. So main function is these B lymphocytes try to grab these pathogens or any foreign particle. Then what will happen? This immune response is also assisted with helper T cells. What will helper T cells do? They will help B cells to produce antibodies. So these B lymphocytes, then they increase in number, then they are known as plasma cells, which produce a large number of antibodies, and this is known as your humoral immunity. So humoral immunity is also known as antibody mediated immune system. Now next is your cellular immunity. Cellular immunity is cell-mediated response occurs inside infected cells and is mediated by T lymphocytes. So, humoral immunity by B lymphocytes, cell-mediated immunity by T lymphocytes. What happens in this? It occurs in the cell. Humoral immunity occurs outside the cell. The pathogens antigens are expressed on the cell surface or on an antigen presenting cells. Helper T cells release cytokines that help activated T cells bind to the infected cells and make a complex and differentiate the T cells into a cytotoxic cells. The infected cells then undergoes lysis. So what is their main function is, they have, see, we all have trillions of lymphocytes, and their main function is when any antigen enters the cell, they produce cytotoxins and help in destruction of the cells by this immune process. So T lymphocytes mostly here, the cytotoxic T killer cells, help in destroying those cells. Now, what is the difference between cellular immunity and humoral immunity? Associated with the B lymphocytes and is responsible for destroying the pathogens by producing antibodies against it. Cellular immunity associated with the T lymphocytes and is responsible for destroying the pathogens, microorganisms which have invaded the cells. See what is B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes. Here antibodies are produced, directly the pathogens are destroyed in this. Humoral immunity is intimately associated with B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes and macrophages. These are associated with T lymphocytes, helper T cells, natural killer cells and macrophages. Antibodies present, antibodies absent. Works against extracellular pathogens, works against intracellular pathogens. Action against pathogen is rapid or quick in the response. Action against pathogen is delayed. So today I am going to teach you till here only. Tomorrow again we'll revise this part. Try to understand it properly. And the next portions which are left, primary response, secondary response, in this video we'll study it tomorrow. So understand it, we'll revise it and try to do it. I have tried to make it very simple, but you will have to make some effort to understand it. Thank you.